Welcome back, beer tubers. Ryan here, back to another episode of San Diego Beer Vlog. Thanks for joining me again. It's about time I did an import, in this case a British beer. Do love my British beers, just don't drink them as much these days. This is from Courage, actually brewed by Wells & Youngs, but this is the Courage Imperial Russian Stout. This is a beer that they used to brew up a while ago and went away, and now the recipe's been brought back. It's a big 10% Imperial Russian Stout. They say it was originally brewed in 1795 for Catherine the Great of Russia. And this was brewed in May 2011. It's a tiny little 9.3 fluid ounce bottle. Well, let's get it open, see how it is. My understanding is this is the beer that inspired Stone to brew their IRS. So it's one of those things where I'm glad to see it back so I can see how it compares. Wow, pours out with a lot of carbonation. Ton of carbonation on that. Wow, really surprising. I have like 2.5 fingers of a light brown, kind of mocha colored head. You know, bubbles are definitely on the smaller side. I expect that to start dissipating away since it is a 10% beer. It's pitch black, but let's get the aroma on it. Oh yeah, it smells good. I'm getting licorice, huge dark fruits, raisins, big time raisins. Some dark chocolate, some milk chocolate, caramel notes. There's big breadiness in there as well. You know, it doesn't have the hop character that like Stone's beer would have, but I'm sure it has probably a good amount of hops in it. I'm not getting a ton on the nose, maybe a little bit of like an earthiness coming through. No real coffee notes on this one. There's maybe a touch of roast, but it's pretty buried between all those other flavors. But yeah, like carbonation's starting to die down, and definitely see some legs sticking to the side of the glass. It's looking good. Let's dig in. Cheers. Yeah, that's really good. At first I thought maybe it would be way too overcarbonated based on the head that formed on it. But it's actually a very smooth drinking beer. 10%. Granted, it's over a year old now, but no alcohol character. Didn't get any on the nose. Don't get any on the flavor. Very big, robust. Pretty much a full-bodied beer as well. Actually, the more I drink on it, I do get a little bit of alcohol up front, followed by some of the more intense dark fruits. Huge raisin, a little bit of that kind of fig plum thing going on. Like a dark marmalade character, probably come from the yeast strain. That kind of hits you all up front. You know, it's big sweetness. The caramel kind of comes in next. You get some of that kind of toffee notes. And the finish though is nice and dry. You get a lot of like a dry, dark chocolate character on the flavor. Really nice stuff. There's a little bit of a coffee kind of like bitterness towards the end, and maybe those hops are coming through. Just can't really get a ton of the flavor. Also picking up some darker berry notes. That sort of generic kind of like almost blackberry, sort of cherry but not quite cherry notes kind of come through middle of the palate as well, and kind of hang out at the end with the dark chocolate character. So you kind of get this chocolate covered berry note at the end. This is it's a really good Russian Imperial Stout. It's got, I like the fact that it's got a nice kind of warming alcohol character to it, but it's not prominent at all. Just a little bit on the flavor. The head's died down, but it's leaving some really nice lacing, so there's probably a good protein structure, probably a good amount of hops in this. I mean, you do get a little bit of an earthiness in there, but not a whole lot. It's definitely a big malt flavored beer. It's really well balanced though. It's big sweetness up front, then it gets balanced out with some of the alcohol. It just has, it's not overly sweet, which is fantastic. It makes it really drinkable. I wish this came in a bomber like Stone's beers do, because at 10%, I'm gonna drink this way too quick. Just being how drinkable it is. I mean, you can. It's certainly a sipper type of beer, but something like a review, I have to really watch how much I drink, or I'm just going to go right through this bottle, no problem. So this is an easy A for Courage. Imperial Russian Stout. It's a very expensive bottle over here in the U.S. I mean, it was probably like $8 for that, so something like that. So you're paying like almost $1 an ounce for it, but it's worth the price in my opinion. I probably won't buy it too much, but for a 275 milliliter bottle, it's a rare occasion. I'll probably get a bottle. If I can find more of this, I'll certainly buy another one, age it even longer, see how it goes. But it's an excellent Imperial Russian Stout from Courage, and like I said, it's brewed by Wells and Youngs out of Bedford, UK. So recommended from me. It'd be fun to do this side by side with Stone's version with the year on, just see how they compare. But it's gonna wrap it up for this review. Until next time, please comment, subscribe. Cheers.